good for. What up, boys? Popping this shit all breeze from Fahrenheit 451, part of the Fourth and Gold Network. We're burning the books alive. I'm pretty sure we went 2-4 yesterday. CMB, Dyson Daniels under the three-pointer, cash it. Jared Allen needed 14 points from his bum ass. Missed 3 free throws in the fourth quarter, finishes with 11. Julian Strother had him for 13 points. Liability on defense. He gets benched for most of the game. Comes back in the third or fourth quarter being even much more bigger, even a bigger liability on defense. Stared at Peyton Pritchard over his points, over his assists, both of those cash. Thought about taking Nikola Jokic over his rebounds. I didn't think the game would be so close. That's what scared me off of that. I didn't take that. Jarris Walker points over cashed. Najee Marshall points over cashed. Royce O'Neal rebounds over cashed. Just like some really good looks that I didn't end up taking. Cash Klingon's rebounds. Drew Holiday didn't do a damn thing. So we're gonna call that the intro. We're gonna call that the intro and then the yesterday's recap. And that's gonna be ending at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Nevertheless, we move. Back with my best bets in the NBA for today, February 23rd. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. We're going to get into it. Maybe I'll give us a little background noise. Maybe I'll give us a little background noise to get it rocking and rolling, man, until I get into my groove. All right, here we go. Make me a little smaller. A little rusty, man. And I ain't did this since before All-Star break. All right, we're going to start with the Sacramento Kid himself. All right, first up from Sacramento, but from the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm going to be taking Jalen Wells over his 2 3-pointers made. Maybe if I refresh this, then it'll stop tweaking like that. Much better. First up from the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm going to be taking Jalen Wells over his 2 3-pointers made. He's over this line in his last 7 out of 8 games, as well as his last 3 versus Sacramento this season, and in his last 5 versus Sacramento. 5, 3, and 9 3-pointers attempted in his last 3 games versus Sacramento. Come on down with your boy to the filters. Did I pass it already? I did. Five, 3, and 9 3-pointers in his last 3 versus Sacramento. When he has 5 3-pointers attempted or more. He's over this line in his last 6 out of 7 games. Over his last 6 out of 7 overs. Excuse me. When he has 5 3-pointers attempted or more, he is over this line in his last 12 out of 15 games, averaging 3.6 3-pointers in his last 5 games. Sacramento allows the 11th most threes to the small forward position. 34% of his points come from the above the break three. Sacramento allows the most threes from the above the break three in the last 5 games. 7th most above the break threes on the season. Pairing that with Ty Jerome, excuse me, also of the Memphis Grizzlies, to just register a cool 10 points. Ty Jerome, 13 points or more in 7 out of his 7 games this season. 28 points in his last game versus Sacramento. Boom. Let me see what I got this at. My bad, y'all. Let me see what I got this at. Three-pointers made. No, that's GG. Jalen Wells, 2 3-pointers made. Ty Jerome, 10 points, minus 110 odds over on Bet365, risking 2.2 units on that one to win 1 unit back. Now this is time for the Maxime. We're going to call him Maxime until I type it into Google and see how you actually pronounce it. Next, this is the Maxime Reynaud portion of the show. Maxime Reynaud over his 14 points, minus 115 odds over on DraftKings. As you see, the line's moving up to 16. Got him at 13.5. So let's just focus on these 2 games right here since the All-Star break, right? 17 and 16 points on 13 and 14 field goal attempts in these last 2 games post All-Star. Both of these games are without Domantas Sabonis and without Dylan Cardwell, who are injured for the foreseeable future. I believe Sabonis is out for the season. Okay. 13 and 14 field goal attempts in his last 2 games post All-Star break. So come on down here with me to these filteranis, right? $13 and 14 field goal attempts in his last 2 games post All-Star. When he has 13 field goal attempts or more, he's over this line in 8 out of 8 games, averaging 19.9 points. In the last 5 games, Reynaud is scoring 50% of his points at the net, and in the last 5, the Grizzlies are giving up the second most points at the net. Okay. Next, like I said, this is the Maxime Reynaud portion of the show. Next, Max Reynaud. Over his 11 rebounds, got it at plus 100 odds over on Bet365, risking 1 unit on this one to win 1 unit back. Like I said, we're going to focus on these last 2 games post All-Star break, right? Because I feel like that gives us the most relative stats to what is going to be going on in this upcoming game, right? Last 2 games post All-Star break, 14 and 12 rebounds on 23 and 19 rebound chances. He's hitting this line in his last 3 out of 4 games without Dylan Cardwell as well as Domantas Sabonis. So in these 3 games right here, let me show you. Let's get Cardwell out of here. Let's get Sabonis out of here. Okay. Maybe I had the 26-minute filter on because that's what he's been playing. You see it right here, 39 and 26. Hold on now. Stick with your boy. There it is. All right, boom. Max, 14 and 12 rebounds in his last 2 games post All-Star, 23 and 19 rebound chances. Hitting his line in his last 3 out of 4 games without Sabonis and Caldwell in the lineup, right? So if you scroll down here with me, you see he has 17 rebound chances on that one, 19 and then 23 rebound chances. So let's yank the filter over here to 17. And then we're going to put Caldwell in. We're going to put Sabonis in. And we're going to take his minutes away. All right? And we're just going to get straight facts on the whole entire season. Okay. When he has 17 rebound chances or more, he is over this line in his last 8 out of 11 games, averaging 12.5 rebounds, right? Okay, hold that thought, right? Because it was 17, 19, and 23. When he has 19 rebound chances or more, he is over this line in his last 7 out of 7 games, averaging 13.6 rebounds. All right. And then last but not least, I had to write this bad boy down right before I was jumping on air because I forgot to write it down. And this is one of the last plays that I did end up taking. Okay. So for this play, we are going to get rid of Cedric Coward, who's going to be out today. It's saying game time decision, but according to the NBA official injury report, that boy out. All right. So, G.G. Jackson, Gregory Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies over his 15 points, minus 123, minus 123 odds over on DraftKings, risking 1.23 units on this one to win 1 unit back. G.G. Jackson, 21, 20, and 28 points in his last 3 games without Cedric Coward or Santi Aldama. If you look at these games and you look at his field goal attempts, then you can see that he took 12, 13, and 17 field goal attempts in these last 3 games. So let's go ahead and take the filter over to 12, and let's see what we come up with, y'all. Let's put it on the whole season. Let's bring Coward back. Let's bring Aldama back. Talk to me nicely. Boom, 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 boom. Something's not right here. Something's not right here with 12 field goal attempts. Maybe I gotta take Coward and Aldama back out. No Coward, no Aldama. Whatever. My number was a little different. I wonder how I got there. Nevertheless, when he has 12 field goal attempts or more, he is over this line in his last 4 out of 5 games, averaging 20.2 points. I must have just wrote it down wrong. I thought it was 5 out of 5. 16 points in his last game versus 16 points in his last game versus Sacramento, and that was on just 8 field goal attempts. Sacramento, I never really show you guys this because I hate scrolling all the way down. But let's see if I can show it to you right now. Here we go. Sacramento allows the 6th most points to the power forward position. They also allow the 3rd most points overall. In the last 5 games, 30% of Jackson's points are scored from the above the break 3 in the last 5 games. As I told you on the Jalen Wells play, the Sacramento Kings are giving up the most threes in the entire NBA. All right. Now, go ahead and stop sharing that. Full size me. And we're going to do a recap at the 15-minute mark. Damn, I almost been on here rambling for a minute. All right, so today, February 23, I will be taking Jalen Wells of the Memphis Grizzlies over his 2 threes, paired with Ty Jerome, also of the Grizzlies, over his 10 points from the Sacramento Kings. I will be taking Max Reynaud over his 14 points. I will also be taking Max Reynaud over his 11 rebounds. And last but not least, I'm going to be taking Gregory Jackson Jr. over his 15 points. Like, comment, and subscribe for your daily sports betting videos and analysis. Let's continue to burn them. Let's keep burning them. Like, comment, and subscribe for your daily sports betting videos and analysis. Let's keep burning them. As always, I will see you tomorrow. If you would like access to all of my plays, as soon as I place them for just 16 cents a day, subscribe to the Patreon. That is already linked down below. Love, peace, and fish grease. Let's continue to run up these units.